In this video I will be demonstrating arrays and list boxes. First let me show you how the video looks like, how the application will look like, and then we'll go over the application. Notice the moment the application runs, there's a list box which gets populated with 50 random numbers between 0 and 100. Notice all the buttons are disabled except for one button, which is the copy to array button. We do this primarily to make sure that the user is guided into the proper direction and they don't make a mistake. Once you click on copy to array, all the elements are copied into an array, and copy to array option is disabled and rest of the buttons are enabled. Then obviously you can copy from a list box. This is just to demonstrate all the capabilities of an array. You can copy from an array to a list box. You can find out what's the maximum in an array, find out what's the minimum in an array, sum them together, find out the average. You can find out, for example, let's say I want to find out 92, and obviously 92 is present in the array. I can see that over here, and click OK. It actually says 92 found, and it also highlights that 92 in the list box. So this is what we're gonna do right now. File, new project, Windows Form application, arrays and list boxes. So again I will add 2 list boxes, one label just show the message, then one button which is basically copy to an array, copy to array, and then we make copies of these buttons, copy from array to the second list box, this will be find minimum, find maximum, sum, average, and this one right here will be find something in an array. So we'll call it as find text. This is find average, find maximum, find minimum, and find sum. So we'll leave the listbox 1 as listbox 1 and listbox 2 as listbox 2. We'll call this label as LBL message. We're just displaying a message over here. We'll call this as LBL message. Let's call these buttons btn copy to array, btn copy from array, btn sum, btn min, btn max, btn average, and btn find text. Alright, so now I said when the form loads for the very first time, we'll call this as form main, and arrays and list boxes. So when the form loads for the very first time, I wanted to generate 50 random numbers, and add those 50 random numbers to the list box 1. So we'll create a form load event. Form load event. So what exactly are we doing in the form load event? We are creating 50 random numbers. So dim rand as new random, and for counter is equal to 0 to 49, because it goes from 0 to 49 is 50 random numbers, and listbox1 dot items dot add rand dot next and 0 comma 101. 101 is not inclusive, so this will generate random numbers between 0 and 101. If you run this, you'll notice that your list box is ready and it has 100 random numbers. So that's all that we will do in the form load event. Actually, also in the form load event, we will enable the copy to array button and disable all the other buttons. So we'll say btn average dot enabled is equal to false, btn copy from average dot enabled is equal to false, btn copy to array dot enabled is equal to true, btn max dot enabled is equal to false, btn min dot enabled is equal to false. 1 2 3 4 5, we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 buttons. Find text and find average are find text dot enabled is equal to false, btn find average dot enabled is equal to false. So there you go. So now when you run this application, notice well, find sum is remaining, copy to array is enabled and rest of the buttons are disabled. So btn sum dot enabled is equal to false. So that's what we do in the form load event. I'm going to minimize this so that I can show you other aspects. So when the user clicks on copy to array, what needs to be done is your program should read all the contents of the list box and copy to the array. Because we will be using this array for other events also, we should declare a class level array. Dim str array, and since our array has a size of 50, we'll declare it as dim str array 49 as string. Now for our copy to array, what we are doing is it's easy. For counter is equal to 0 to listbox1 dot items dot count minus 1, and what exactly are we doing is we are saying str array counter is equal to listbox1 dot items and counter, and once the entire process is over, we can say lbl message dot text is equal to all items copied to the array. Right, so now when you run it, notice there are 50 random numbers. The only option available is copy to array. You copy to array, it says all items copied to the array. But unfortunately, right now the other options are still not available. So what we need to do is we need to enable all the other buttons and disable the. So I'm just going to copy this from here and paste it over here, and what I'll say is this is true, this is true, this is false, this is true, this is true, this is true, this is true, and this is true. So run it, copy to array, this becomes disabled and everything else becomes enabled. Now copy from array, what I want is everything that is available in the array should be copied to the second list box, and maybe you perform some arithmetic operations, multiplied by 2, multiplied by 10, and then copy to the second list box. So copy from array, again for counter is equal to 0 to list actually now we can actually use the size of the array. str array dot length minus 1, and what we are saying is that listbox 2 dot items dot add, and what exactly are you adding? You're adding the first you're adding the array. So str array counter. Now if you want to multiply, if you want to perform some arithmetic operations, you can basically say something like convert to integer str array times 2 or times 10 or something like that. So notice now copy to array and copy from array, everything gets multiplied by 2, and it is displayed in the second list box. Alright, let's find the sum. To find the sum, I'll actually first write a function called as sum. So private function sum as integer, because it is returning an integer data type, and over here I'm gonna say dims total as integer, total for counter is equal to 0 to str array dot length minus 1, and total plus equal to str array counter, and then I can return total. So then the sum simply becomes L. I'm not displaying it anywhere, I should have a label over here. So label, this is label 1 where I'm displaying the sum, label 2 where I'm displaying the minimum, maximum, average, and results of find text. So find sum becomes label 1 dot text is equal to sum, and dot to string, and I will format it to so that it doesn't display any decimals. Likewise, find average becomes really simple, because I can still call that function again, and I can say label, this will be label 4, label 4 dot text is equal to and once again sum divided by str array dot length dot to string, and this time I will format it so that it can display 2 decimal places. The next thing that we want to do is find minimum. To find minimum, what we do is we assume that dim min as integer, and we assume that the lowest the first element of the array is the minimum number, so str array 0, and then we go into the counter, we go into the for next loop, and we say if str array counter is less than minimum, then minimum is equal to str array counter, and if not, then obviously, and then we display this for min, label 2 dot text is equal to min. For max, it will be exactly the same, except that instead of min we'll have max. And we'll have a greater than sign. Let's run this. Copy to array, copy from array, find sum, find minimum, maximum. We need to change the label over here. This should be label 3. Copy to array, find min, find max, maximum, average is 50. Find text is remaining. Let's do find text. Double click on find text, and again, first we need to find out what text we have to find. We'll do that in the second part. Alright, the last part of this project is the find text button. If the user clicks on find text, it should throw an input box asking the user what do they want to find, and if the item is found in the array, it displays a message in the label 5 saying that the item was found. It also selects that item in the list box, and if the item is not found, it doesn't select anything in the list box and it says that the item was not found. So double click, it will create a button find text click event. First we want to find out dim str find as string, so this will hold the item that the user wants to find, and then we also want to declare another variable to hold the position of the item that was found. So dim index of item as integer. Now we can run a loop for counter is equal to 0 to str array dot length minus 1, and what we are saying is if str find is equal to str array counter, then if str find is equal to str array counter, then label 5.text is equal to found item, and we will display the item, and we will set the the index of item as same as counter. Else if the item is not found, then label 5.text is equal to item not found, and index of item will become -1. Now right now we are not storing anything in str find. We need an input box to store that thing. Str find is equal to input box. What do you want to search? And then finally, if the item is found, we actually want to exit the for loop, because otherwise it will keep going through the loop, and if the last item is not the item that was found, it will always show that the item was not found. So we want to say exit for over here, and then finally we'll say listbox1 dot items, listbox1 dot selected index is equal to index of item. So let's run this. Copy to array, copy from array to the list box, find sum, find minimum, find maximum, find average, find text. So let's find 96. Obviously that is visible, so it selects 96. It says item found. Oops, there you go. Find text, I want to find 32. It selects 32, says item found 32. Then the next item I want to find is 101. Obviously that is not present. It says item not found, and it removes the selection. That's all about arrays and list boxes. More examples following. Thank you.